friends, I miss you, and I thought maybe I would read you a story today and we could sing a song. And it's a story that we've probably heard before, but it's really one of my favorites, so that's why I wanted to read it. And then the song that I love goes with it, and I think you really definitely will remember how that one goes. This is again the Jesus Storybook Bible, and at the very end of the video I have the link so moms and dads can get the book and have one at your house. This is called The Young Hero and the Horrible Giant. God's people had some scary enemies, but the Philistines were the scariest of them all. And now the Philistines had come to fight them. The Philistines had a big secret weapon. His name was Goliath. Goliath was a terrifying soldier. And worst of all, he was a giant. A giant that was so strong and so tall and so scary that no one had ever been able to fight him and live to tell about it. So there they were, the Philistines, standing on top of one hill, and God's people were standing on top of the other. And every day, Goliath came out and he would shout, "Send your best soldier to fight me. If he wins, we will be your slaves. But if I win, you will be our slaves." No one spoke. No one moved. "Chickens," Goliath bellowed. "Your God can't save you. I'll rip your heads off and have you on toast." His beady, greedy eyes glowered at them hungrily from under his horrible helmet, as if any minute he really just might gobble them all up. And he laughed his terrible laugh. "Huh, huh, huh, huh," it boomed, echoing horribly around and around the dry, dry valley. Well, Goliath might just as well have been a green, slimy monster with 3 heads, because God's people froze with fear. Their eyes glazed over and they turned deathly pale. They knew if someone didn't do something quick, if someone didn't save them. But God would do something. He would send someone to save them. Now you remember that David was the youngest son of Jesse. Well, his brothers were soldiers in the army. And one day, when David brought his brothers their lunches, he saw Goliath, and he saw how scared everyone was. "Don't be afraid," David said. I'll fight him for you." "You're only a little shepherd boy," the king said. "And Goliath is a great soldier. How will you fight him?" "God will help me," David said. So the king gave David his royal armor to wear. But it was too heavy and too big. And David couldn't even walk. "I won't need this," David said. Instead, David picked out 5 smooth stones from the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He took his slingshot and walked toward Goliath. Step, step, step. Remember how this book does this really cool thing. Watch. Goliath walked toward David. Thud, thud, thud. "You?" Goliath peered down at the small boy. "I'm little," David shouted up to him, "but God is great." Goliath laughed an even terribler laugh than usual. It went. With just one swing of his giant sword, Goliath could finish that boy off, but David kept going. It isn't how strong you are or how many swords and spears you have that will save you. It is God who saves you. This is God's battle, and God always wins his battles. David put a stone in his sling, swung it around, and let it go, and the little stone flew whiz like a bullet through the air, and it struck Goliath, thud, right between the eyes, and Goliath stopped laughing. He stumbled and staggered and crashed, fell dead. And when the Philistines saw that Goliath was dead, they ran away. And when God's people saw them running away, they cheered. God had saved his people. David was a hero. Many years later, God would send his people another young hero to fight for them and to save them. But this hero would fight the greatest battle the world has ever known. That's the end of that story. Isn't that wonderful? There's the stone right there. That story is from the Bible. That's a true story from the Bible, and that really happened. Love this book. Okay, let's sing our song. Are you ready? And I bet you remember how it goes. It says, "My God is so big." You got to really put your muscles out. So big, so strong, and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do for you. My God is so big, so strong, and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do for you. The mountains are his, the rivers are his, the stars are his handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong, and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do for you. There is nothing God can't do. God is bigger than Goliath, and he's bigger than anything that we ever face. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Mwah!